Welcome to No Stats, where we call it how we see it.
Back again with another one. Back
Back
again.
again. Yes, sir. Let them know, Peach. Back again, bro. Before we jump in, as always, like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, comment. All comments welcome. Speak your mind, on any of your team previews that we did so far. If that's your squad, you don't like something, you do like something, let us know how you feel. And
Let
ring that
us
bell so
know.
you can stay up to date with all of the new content that me and Peach gonna keep flooding y'all with.
Sit, baby.
Watch the handle, it takes skill. We gotta run it back. We in the field, and you said it Jason Jack. You in your field, we looking for the facts. Let's keep it real, yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats. Yeah, we talking no stats.
Bro, staying in the NFC South, we got the Carolina Panthers up next. We just wrapped up. We just wrapped up with the Saints. Yeah, we just wrapped up with the Saints.
Just did the Saints, yeah.
So if y'all ain't see that one, check that one out. We did the Falcons as well. And we also did the entire AFC South. But today we go to Carolina, a team that
He's been big on this whole offseason. He's been big on the
off-season
Panthers.
moves. I was feeling their off-season moves, bro, as I was like dissecting their schedule, and a lot of their key additions. I started to rail back a little bit. I started to pull back a little bit. The NFL ain't doing no favors with the schedule, and I think it'll take some time to get things rolling. But I don't want to get nothing away too early, so we're gonna jump in per usual.
Let's get right in, man. This is also a team that could have won in Week 17 last year. They would have beat the Bucks.
True.
Could have made the playoffs.
True. Everybody was right there in this division, and it's one of those divisions. Like, I know we've been talking about it in these last two videos, but it was up for the taking last year, and it's a big question mark around it this year. It's waiting for somebody to capture it, and 8-9 wins can probably do that. But let's jump right in. Like you said, last year missed the playoffs, bro. Worst team in the NFL. Wait. No. They wasn't the worst team in the NFL.
This traded up for that pick.
Yeah. Thank you for correcting me. They traded up for that pick to get Bryce Young. They get Bryce Young, number one pick. They also change head coaching and they get Frank Reich from Indianapolis, and I think that's a huge addition. I'm a big Frank Reich fan. From when he won the Super Bowl as the offensive coordinator with the Eagles, I thought Indianapolis let go of him a little too soon, but I think Carolina gives him a better situation, especially with the offensive pieces. He gets to pick his quarterback. So I like that coach quarterback combo. We'll see how it works out. But they add a lot of other nice pieces around him, right? And we was talking about this with the Falcons, putting pieces around your young quarterback to help him and put him in that best situation possible. So they bring in Jonathan Mingo from Ole Miss. They draft him. They go get Adam Thielen, a vet from Minnesota. They go get DJ Chark. They get Von Bell. They get Eric Rowe. And get Hayden Hurst. They bring in Andy Dalton, who's a veteran in this league and can kind of show Bryce Young how to move on and off the field. They draft Shy Tuttle. They get Miles Sanders, who was just in the Super Bowl last year. They get Demarius Byrd, who's a deep threat guy. They went out in free agency and hit it hard. Got a lot of guys that have playoff experience, guys that have made Pro Bowls. I think they did really well, and they didn't lose a lot, right? When you look at their losses, I know they lost DJ Moore, who's a beast. He ended up in Chicago, so they don't really technically have like a true number one receiver. Adam Thielen is like on a down part, the end of his career. They got the guy from LSU that was there, Terrence Marshall. Was there with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson. So they got Terrence Marshall. They got Jonathan Mingo, who they hope can take that step. Adam Thielen, DJ Chark. A lot of guys, but they miss it at number one. They lose Sam Darnold, Matt Ioannidis, and Deontay Foreman, who was playing big for them last year. But all in all, bro, I think they did well in the off season. Well, some nice pieces.
They did real good, and I know you said earlier that they don't have a true number one at the wide receiver spot, but I think guys like Adam Thielen and Hayden Hurst could bring that veteran presence inside this ball club and maybe not be number ones, but can be very productive. And we stated it like all over this division, you see these new toys that all these young quarterbacks got at their disposal. And a lot of these young quarterbacks have veteran guys backing them up at the quarterback spot. The Andy Dalton signing was phenomenal because if things
Mhm.
do go left, um, with Bryce Young, you have a reliable guy that could come in there and maybe win you a game or two based on the direction that this team is going in. Also to add, they also have offensive coordinator Thomas Brown, who came from that Sean McVay system. So I think this is a team that's going to be very fun offensively. We can see them being in games maybe from just putting up points. And then you get a veteran guy like Miles Sanders from Philadelphia, who's I'm not gonna say that he wasn't as productive in Philly, but I think he's gonna get a lot of touches for this Carolina team. Um, and yeah, man, this division
Yeah.
is wide open.
No, I agree, bro. And I think the two pieces that stick out from the key additions are Miles Sanders and Hayden Hurst. Because with a young quarterback, you want to make sure he got those safety blankets. A tight end is a younger quarterback's best friend. He's that safety blanket coming up the middle. And I think Hayden Hurst he took a step last year in Cincinnati, right? He had some big plays. He played well in that Buffalo playoff game. Miles Sanders was a Pro Bowler last year. I think he had over 1,000 rushing yards, right? So there's gonna be times where he could dump the ball off to him. But the big question mark is how is Bryce Young going to play? Like if Bryce Young comes out the gate and he's the number one overall pick, that he's lives up to the potential and the pick, they could take this division, bro. That's how wide open the division is. But if the train takes a little while to get off the tracks, as expected, right? New head coach, new quarterback, bunch of new guys on the roster, try to figure out things. New offensive coordinator, as you mentioned. That's where things can get sticky. So, I mean, it's all in the quarterback's hands, quarterback and the head coach.
And can this defense get stops? I love Von Bell. Back there in that secondary, and
You
then
love him
pair
because
him
he was
with
a Bengal.
Xavier. Come
You
on,
keep mentioning
man.
Bengals
Come
players.
on,
I
man.
see.
Y'all got a good Y'all got a good thing going on over there, man. I can't be mad, man. But you pair him with Xavier Woods. I think it's gonna come down to whether this team can get stops. Can they stop the run? And these
Brian
additions
Burns.
that they have, yeah, these additions are gonna have to come in and be able to make effects immediately. Especially with having a young quarterback on the center this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they got some pieces on that defense. They got Brian Burns. They got J.C. Horn. A lot of young guys, right? So you get some veteran guys like Eric Rowe and Von Bell to come in and kind of mentor and also make big plays for this ball club. I don't know, bro. It's gonna be interesting. I say we jump right into this record prediction because I can't get over the beginning of
Just
the
to,
schedule.
just,
I didn't think the schedule was gonna start like this, bro. Like I like this Carolina team a lot, but I didn't think the schedule was gonna start like this. So
that shit. They started
we
into
just
the
gonna
season.
jump
They
in.
like this shit.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro. They start off with
You're like,
so
"Gee."
before I jump into the schedule. 7-10 last year, like you said, they had a chance to get into the playoffs with Sam Darnold after a rough start. Fired the head coach, let go of Sam Darnold, rebuilt everything, and now trying to come back and top that 7-10 record, which I thought was possible, and it still is possible. But let's look at these first 6 games before the bye. You got 2 division games. You're on the road to start the season. You're in Atlanta, who we just wrapped up, and we talked about all of their additions, right? You go to Atlanta, and then you're home against Derek Carr and the New Orleans Saints, who added some pieces. Jamal Williams. They're supposed to get Michael Thomas back healthy. Chris Olave. That's 2.
You're just leaning me towards this team starting off 0-6, bro.
Tough, bro. Then you go to Seattle. That's one of the toughest places to play in the NFL, right? Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, they've been hitting the draft well these last couple years. Can't forget DK Metcalf. Then they got the Vikings at home. What I mean, the games the Vikings won last year, 12, 13.
At least 11.
Vikings had a phenomenal record. played really well last year. Kirk Cousins is a. If that game's at 1:00, Kirk Cousins will go off in that game, and Justin Jefferson will as well. Then they're on a 2-game road trip. They got to go to Detroit, this fiery team who everybody thinks is going to make the playoffs and get a playoff win for the first time in God knows how long. And then they got to go to Miami, who is one of the teams in the AFC that I'm looking out for, one of my favorites in the AFC. I don't know, bro. These first 6 weeks it's tough. It's tough. I got them getting one.
Shit. He did this fucking shit under control.
I got them getting a home opener, bro. Against the Saints, squeaking that one out. Maybe they can play spoiler week 1 in Atlanta. 0-6 is crazy, bro.
That is crazy, and we'll get to the switches later on in the schedule. So I'm guessing we'll rock with the one. What is this? 1-6 right now, heading into the bye. 1-5 heading into the bye.
Yeah, heading into the bye, 1-5. But good news, right? Because they come out of the bye and they're home, and they get 2 weeks to prepare for a Texans team who is kind in a similar situation, right? Bring in some guys, new head coach, rookie quarterback, and with them having 2 weeks to prepare and being at home, I think they can get this W. So now you got 2 dubs, but then you home again against the Colts. This is going to be one that I'm going to talk to at the end of the schedule review, because I think this one could be flipped, bro.
That Texans matchup?
No, the Colts in week 9.
The Colts.
Reason being is because this will be like a Frank Reich revenge game. He got fired from the Colts. He get to play the Colts. I think he's going to want this one bad, and the players are going to want to get it for him. But albeit we don't have that W right there. We have a loss. Maybe Anthony Richardson is firing on all cylinders, and it's kind of hitting his stride before Bryce Young is. Maybe he's leading, out of all the quarterbacks in rushing yards, and he's taking off. Maybe Jonathan Taylor. You pair Anthony Richardson with Jonathan Taylor, that can be the best rushing offense in the league. So let's say they just firing, and the Panthers lose a tough one there. Then they go to Chicago. This one won't be easy at all. But I think Chicago is still trying to find their way as well. These would be 2 teams that's kind of in similar positions trying to find their way. So I got the Panthers getting that win there. So through 10 weeks, they're 3-6? Yeah. 3-6, bro.
Can't even guarantee those 3. I'm a little,
bro.
That week only in Chicago.
Yeah.
I think by then, the thing about Chicago this year that's so scary, because Justin Fields had a phenomenal season last year and they still wasn't shit. So I think this ball club is gonna be hungry. Chill. This ball club is still gonna be hungry. You go out and you get a number 1 wide receiver guy in DJ Chark. DJ Moore, sorry. And by week 10, are they gonna still be the mediocre ass Bears?
Nah, bro. I'm flipping those. Viewers, y'all gotta excuse me. We messed up. It's still the same amount of wins and losses, right? But the Colts game is a win. The Bears game is a loss.
Give them a little 2-game win streak out of the bye.
Yeah. The reason being, like I said, that Colts game will be a revenge game for Frank Reich. The team will come out hungry. They'll want to prove something for him. But then they got to go to Chicago, and that'll be DJ Moore's revenge game. Like, y'all just traded me. Like you said, that's a far trip from Carolina. It can be cold. Accounting for Justin Fields is going to be tough. So yeah, let's switch those. Still 3-6. But I'm gonna switch those.
Nothing in Chicago. Nothing.
Yeah, nah. 3-6. So then week 11, they come back home. They got to play the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys are a better team, pretty much top to bottom. I think that's a loss. And then they get a 3-game road trip. They got to go to Tennessee, then to Tampa, then New Orleans. I think they'll start that trip off pretty well against the Titans. I can see them getting that dub. But then, again, 2 division games on the road, back-to-back. Got to go to Tampa. I think that'll be a tight one. I think that'll be a fun game, too. low key, and then they got to go to New Orleans, which they already beat New Orleans in week 2. I don't see them sweeping the Saints by any means. And they actually got 3, bro. They got 3 division games back to back to back. That's crazy.
I needed a piece of paper to ball up because that's how the Panthers season is about to
bro,
start.
The schedule kind of tough.
This is a very tough schedule, and I don't mean to skip ahead, but just looking at the wins, it's like, damn, like Saints. Do they really split with this Saints team?
Right.
Maybe get blown out in week 2. Saints is rolling by week 14. Pack them up maybe one more time. It's all on, like you stated all throughout this video, bro. It's all on Bryce Young, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Bryce Young can actually what's the data like in the past of like rookie guys coming in and making immediate impacts, bro?
It's not that it doesn't favor the rookie quarterbacks that much, bro. It's very, very, very rare. It's an adjustment, bro. I mean, Justin Herbert. That's why Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. It still took them that first year to get those kinks out. Before we seen them really, really flourish. You see signs like, oh, he got some game. They're gonna be nice next year. But that's why a lot of these teams sit their quarterback that first year, just to get him a little adjusted. Patrick Mahomes had that, the ability to do that behind Alex Smith in Kansas City. But sometimes you get thrown in the fire with these franchises that need you right now, and you got to pick up everything so quickly. I don't know, bro. But week 15, they're back home against Atlanta. I got them splitting that, taking the home game. I like to do that with the division games, especially when it's 2 equal opponents. Losing to the Packers, and then they're at Jacksonville, 2 L's, and then they finish the season off home, get some momentum, and
of course, beating the Bucks.
Bro, I gave the Buccaneers a win in week 13.
Can I just get a sweep? I'm just asking for a sweep.
No, not the Buccaneers.
Split with the Panthers? What if the division crown is on the line again?
Bro, if the Buccaneers win the division crown, bro, the Pistons are winning the NBA championship next year.
You guys hear that? Everybody keep the receipts. Oh, I can't wait for these NFL bets. We already got the Browns Bengals bet going on?
Absolutely.
Because the Browns supposed to win the division this year.
I think we put cars up on that. We're gonna get to that when we talk about AFC North. Peach gonna be walking to work. I'm gonna follow that to the camera and post it on the channel. 6-11, bro. I wanted to give them 7 wins so bad. Because I like this Panthers team. They're gonna be fun to watch. But like you said, bro, it's hard to find wins. They could definitely lose to the Saints. They can definitely lose all 3 of those road trips. They could lose to the Titans in week 12.
Absolutely. I was going to mention that next.
The only one I kind of feel confident about is coming off of the bye week at home against the Texans. And I kind of like week 18 too. But those are the only ones I really, really, I don't know, bro.
Good. I think week 12 and week 2 could go the other way. I could see this being a 4-win ball club. I mean,
so that's the floor. You think that's the floor? 4 wins.
I think the floor is 4 wins, and I think the ceiling is the 6 that we got, like them 2 games.
Damn.
And that game week 2 and week 12. I think it could maybe be a coin flip based on where those teams is at that point. I don't know. I said
ceiling. I can see the ceiling. Not to cut you off, bro. I can see the ceiling being 8 wins. The ceiling, very high, very high. Yeah, like if they had these 6, and I had to add 2 more, maybe they could beat the Packers in week 16, right? Like we don't know what the Packers are right now without Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
And then if I had to throw another one in there, you know how the NFL get. Like if that, I'm very adamant on my Kirk Cousins takes, bro. Kirk Cousins in 1:00 games, he's going to win you some games. He might put up some big numbers. Anything out of 1:00, if it's 4:00 game, if it's at 8 p.m., he's going to shrink. He just doesn't play well outside of 1:00 games.
I just became a fan of Kirk after watching quarterbacks last night.
Yeah, if that's a 4:00 game, I still got to watch that. If that's a 4:00 game, the Panthers could pull that one out, I think. I really think so. So that's why I said ceiling 8, and maybe they can upset a team like Seattle or
8 wins for this Panthers ball club. I like. I don't agree, but I like.
I don't even agree, but I'm just saying for the Panthers fans, maybe somehow it could be 8 wins, but it's tough, bro. The Panthers was kind of, we spoke about that a few times, and the Panthers was like my dark horse to win the division, and I had to wake up and realize like schedule tough.
Schedule tough. A lot of youth out there. Like you're asking a lot of this young defense. To step up in certain games and certain situations, and then you're young on the other side of the board too. With the head of your snake of the quarterback. So, this team goes as far as Bryce Young goes this year. If he hits a rookie wall and they happen to go the other direction with Sam Darnold, I could see this team maybe
Andy Dalton. You mean
rushing Andy Dalton? Yes, I could see this team rushing. Who did I say?
Sam Darnold, he bounced.
Sam Darnold, I'm tripping. They all the same player. Sam Darnold, Andy Dalton. Who's another one? That's like a good bet, but sitting in the cut.
I don't know, man. It's tough. Panthers fan, let us know. Are we tripping? Are we not giving y'all enough love? Is this right on? And I think this. I think this is a good building block year, right? Let's see what we got on Bryce Young. If he's the guy, and we go 6-11 or 7-10 again, all right. Now we hit the draft again, put some more pieces around him. You got another year of familiarity under Frank Reich, get that coach quarterback connection, another year under the belt, and then maybe next year you go in the division. I don't know. 6-11. That's
6-11. Don't be surprised if it's 4 and 13.